highlights of the news of yesteryear.
Germany's view of World War II. These are captured German films made for propaganda purposes by Nazi cameramen. Here are historic pictures of the putsch that resulted in the fall of France. It's 1940, and Hitler's legions have crushed Belgium and are about to head for the Maginot Line extension below Sedan. Initial move to crack France's first defense line is concentrated artillery fire by railroad guns on the supposedly impregnable Maginot. Supporting the huge guns in their attack were 12 tank divisions with 400 tanks to each division, plus concentrated air bombings. But it was these shells which shattered the Maginot Line, paving the way for infantry. Shell-marked pillboxes disgorged French defenders. The German people saw these films and showered new adulation on the Führer. Conquest was so easy. Surely the master race could win over the world. With the Maginot Line in German hands, the blitzkrieg again gets underway. Artillery blasts French positions. Infantry rushes to mop up. At this point in World War II, Germans had broken through at Liège, Namur, Sedan, and Montmédy. Here in Strasbourg, just across the Rhine, fresh military forces are headed toward the heart of France. Immediate goal en route is the city of Metz, and again the pattern of conquest is to be followed. Motorized divisions follow a big gun barrage. Metz's forts are blasted, and infantry advances on remaining defenders. Imagine the feeling in Germany when these films were shown. Imagine the homage paid Hitler on his every public appearance as each new victory justifies his plans and promises. Remember, these are the early stages of the war, when resistance was disorganized, when surprise proved Germany's strongest ally. And now the Nazi horde set out to avenge their having been thwarted in World War I at Verdun. This time, no hastily recruited taxicab army barred their way. This time, no inspired Marshal Joffre turned them back. Verdun falls. In silent sorrow, statue of Jeanne d'Arc watches the capture. Sees German forces overrun another fair city of France. As Verdun's fortifications are razed, all Germany is rejoicing. 1918 is forgotten except by these German officers who see the cemetery that conceals the dead of their earlier defeat. After Verdun, what? Deeper, deeper into France. Ultimate goal, of course, is Paris. French forces under General Gamelin were retreating all along the line. Assignment to stop the advance was given to General Maxime Weygand, who succeeded Gamelin but proved unequal to the task of holding back the Nazi advance. Here, Germany's armies roll on. An attack that began with 40 divisions had reached 150 divisions when these photographs were taken. Not seen in these films with the full-scale bombing that crippled and demoralized. Significant shot of the early stages of the war. French prisoners en route to concentration camps, while German troops advance. Here are some of the 500,000 prisoners taken by the Nazis. Fighting men who felt the fury of Germany's might. Passing them, the German juggernaut rolls on to Dunkirk, on to Paris. The next issue of yesterday's newsreel presents the history-making events that followed the fall of Verdun. The events that led to the temporary end of France and the permanent eclipse of Adolf Hitler.
Theater fans, how good is your memory? All right, if it's that good. Who's this Ziegfeld Follies comedian of 1921? Give up? Why, it's Raymond Hitchcock, of course. Hitchy has brought his girl troupe down to Coney Island in a benefit for the Stage Women's Relief Fund. And the kids seem to be having themselves a time. The scene is Luna Park, a Coney Island landmark that burnt 25 years later, but fun's the order of the day as the kids each grab a pony at Coney. The Hitchy Coo Girls in action. From 1917 through 1920, they packed them in on Broadway. Later day show fans may have seen Raymond Hitchcock in The Old Soak in 1923-24, or Your Uncle Dudley in 1929. What's Coney Island without hot dogs? And how about the gals eating them? Hot dogs. You're watching one of the great names in comedy of the American theater, the Auburn, New York comic who entertained America from 1902 to 1929. Yes, sir, Ray for Raymond Hitchcock.
You've heard of her. Here she is, Annie Oakley. Yes, this is the young lady who joined Buffalo Bill in 1870 and toured the world demonstrating her ability with a rifle. First of the female track shot big shots, Annie Oakley.
You're watching Percy Grainger, the Australian composer who gave the world the immortal Country Gardens and other great works. In 1914, he came to America, and here he is with the showman Roxy, then manager of the Capitol Theater.
Well, we had some fun a while back identifying stage star Raymond Hitchcock. How about this movie star? Give up? It's Hope Hampton as she looked when she appeared in pictures like The Bat, Love's Larceny, Stardust, Lawful Larceny, and The Gold Diggers. Hope's up to 1923 in her bathing costume cavalcade. Incidentally, how many remember when she turned operetta prima donna in 1927 and was a smash hit in The Princess?